What's up, y'all? It's your boy Adam Blackstone, and welcome to BBE Manor House Studios. I'm gonna take y'all inside to see a couple of my bass toys. You ready? You ready? Let's go.
Dudes, you read that correctly. We have got the one and only Adam Blackstone in the house with you today, or in fact, you're going to be in Adam's house looking at his basses. This is the Super Bowl bass, by the way. He's going to tell you all about it. But before you go anywhere, make sure that after this video, you let me know in the comments which bass players you want to see next in this series of bass tales. We've had some incredible guys on so far, but we want to get more for you. So let me know in the comments. And with that said, Adam, over to you.
It is a 2016 Fender Jazz Deluxe. My son was born July 9th, 2015. A story came into my head of a young black kid just on a journey and changing the world, and I decided to get this bass wrapped and custom wrapped for the Super Bowl with this logo and my son all plastered over it. So if you guys can see it, it is Junior's Journey, Blackstone on there. We got A2 on there, the young kid. We have Kaisha on the back. Everybody knew it as Mrs. BBE. Blackstone, a picture, another of the character of my son. So playing at the Super Bowl, you have to just be focused. You have to very much be and have intent on your note choices because you're in a stadium. Your instrument has to sing and carry. It has to resonate through the people. It has to resonate through the television screen, through the television speakers, which is another reason why this Fender Deluxe with this maple neck and like the sustain on it is so great, and I love it. It was able to permeate, I think, through even the bigness of the arrangements and stuff like that. The bass played an important factor. Being at that Super Bowl can never be replaced. That was my first one. It's like your first child, you know. It's a special thing. We call it Junior's Journey. So this is a Ibanez signature Gary Willis fretless bass. This is probably one of the best setup basses that I've ever played. If you can see, the very, very interesting part of this bass is that it has a single Bartolini pickup here, 2-band EQ. And if you all know Gary Willis, he has the most fluent, chill finger motions and gets the best tone. You know, just even me playing jazz through high school and through college, I was able to shed with one of my teachers, Gerald Veasley, and he invited me to the bass boot camp, which is still going on, and it's amazing. We've had everybody there from Victor Belly, the great Victor Belly, rest in peace, and to Victor Wooten, to Steve Bailey, and then I met Gary Willis, and something about his playing, the way he just played through chords, and he does a lot of nines, so it's like, you know, in D minor he would play like, his tone was just amazing. And you know, of course, every kid is into Jocko, so you know, Jocko playing fretless, I was like, you know, let me explore with that sound. And yeah, I ended up getting this bass, and it's been a blessing to me. I've used it on a few records, jazz and R&B stuff. So this is a 2004 Lakland Skyline hollow body 34-inch scale. Another one of my favorite studio axes specifically. Definitely one of the coolest basses I own for sure. Double humbucker here. active, passive, 5-switch tone. And one of the cool things about this bass, many people don't know this, that hear it, they ask me like, man, how does it get so low and so warm? I'm actually tuned a 4th down. So I'm going from D, A, E, B. So I have some things on here that a normal 4-string can't do, and because of even the flat wounds on there, got black diamond flat wound strings on here, it's giving me a whole different type of boom. Has the rock and rockabilly vibes. It can give you upright vibes. It can give you everything that you need. It's designed by the great Michael Tobias and Dan Lakland. So their 2 genius bass minds together came up with this amazing instrument. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art, and it happens to sound real good too. So here we have my 2006 Performance Jazz Bass. I think that's the year, and this is what I like to call my West Coast funk bass. Has a special story behind this. As you may have seen, I was playing Lakland for a long time, and a couple other vintage Fenders, but I got the call to MD for Janet Jackson. That call changed my life. It changed my musical landscape of how I heard music. It let me really, really dive into Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, their production, the way that they build music. And I needed a funk slapping, thumb wrenching bass. The guys that I was listening to at that time and that I still listen to was Ethan Farmer and Andrew Goucher. I ran into Goucher. I think I was out eating, or I might have been at NAMM eating or something like that, another NAMM year. And I said, man, I'm looking for a bass. And I think that he had just became a big face of MTD because he's such a legend and so legendary. And he said, man, I got this performance bass that I might be looking to get rid of. You know, I want to bless you with it. And I ended up buying it from Goucher. And this bass has, man, carried me through that time and has really shaped my traditional jazz bass sound and helped me even to hear other tones and stuff like that, what the bass can do. This bass is so powerful with its pretty much 3-band EQ and pickup selector. Many stages this has been on, from Janet to Rihanna to Justin Timberlake. I played this on a couple of our earlier shows. Man, it's been really, really good. So, woo, that thing is powerful. It ain't nothing like this, man. Woo. Lakland 5501 5-string, straight from Dan Lakland. I got this at the 2002 NAMM show last day. If y'all know anything about NAMM, they trying to off all that stuff that's just out there. I needed a bass really, really bad. I had just moved to Philadelphia a couple years prior, and like I said, I was studying jazz and doing a lot of jazz stuff to get into what I really wanted to do, hip hop and R&B and, you know, soul music. I needed a versatile instrument, and I remember picking this up, walking through NAMM, and the first day I was like, this, I've never played anything like this at the time. 5-string, you know, bird's eye maple neck, flame top here, active, and it was just powerful. I remember coming back the last day and having $500 as a college student, and you know, Dan said, all right, man, go ahead, you can have it, you know, for that price. And I appreciate you, Dan Lakland. He's always been a great, great dude. Supported me throughout the years for a long time. I have other Lakland instruments that are just as good as this, but I think this is probably my favorite. This has been on many, many stages, from Kanye West to Drake to, you know, Jay-Z to Eminem. I think a lot of people know me for playing this with Jill Scott as well. And it definitely gave the sound, it gave me a sound. And I'm very thankful for this instrument and what it was able to do for me.
Take it off now, girl. Take it off. I'm a masturbator. Take it off now, girl. Take it off. I can help it slide your panties on.
One of my favorite basses. This is a 1969 Fender P bass. I remember getting this, and the day that I got it, it was so amazing to me. I had found this bass on Craigslist for $1,000. When I got to Philly, quick backstory, I was a jazz major at the University of the Arts, and I was playing a lot of 6-string bass. 6-string, I wanted to like study Petitucci and what Steve Bailey was doing, and then even the old greats with like Anthony Jackson, what he was doing. And I remember going to the studio with the great Questlove and James Poyser, and that was not the sound that they were going for. And they gave me some records, they gave me some people to study, they gave me some music to study. One of the common things I heard was this round bass, almost emulating synth sub bass. And they had been used to playing with Pino Palladino, the great Pino Palladino. And so I did all I could. This was in about 2001, 2002, to find that sound through the instrument, because we know it's also in the hands for Pino, but to find that instrument. And so I found this bass randomly. I remember it was $1,000. I called the guy. I said, listen, I don't have $1,000 right now, but if you give me to the end of the week, I'm gonna bust my tail. I was doing bar mitzvahs, wedding gigs, restaurant, theater at night, all to get this $1,000 for the end of the week. And he held it for me. One of my greatest investments for sure. I remember coming back to the studio and showing the guys, showing Questlove and James Poyser, and I remember that same night we started finishing Pharrell's album with the Yes Sirs and In My Mind. So this instrument has been on a lot of records. It also was one of the things that I played on Al Green's 2010 album. Amir said, bring that same bass, and we were able to write and produce Al Green's Grammy Award winning album in 2010. So this bass has a lot of history. For me, the sound is so classic. It gives me that Jamerson, very warm Motown vibe. There's nothing that can duplicate this. It is what it is. Shout out to the dude on Craigslist that sold me this back in early 2000s. I put it to good use, I promise you, brother. All right, 69 Fender P bass, Blackstone edition. Now, for those who know, you know, my first love has always been the upright bass. Coming up in Willingboro High School, jazz band, we used to have the jazz band competitions, and I was using a school bass. Funny thing about this specific bass is I have had this since 1997, and I know that it is a 1955 instrument. A woman from my town sold this instrument in to my career, but the funny part is it came in 3 parts. The neck, the body, and the headstock were all in 3 different parts. And she said, I heard you play at high school. My mother has an old bass. I think you should have it, whatever. We're like, okay. My mom and dad, we packed up, drove down to Maryland from New Jersey, picked up the bass. It was in 3 pieces. I did some research. I found this guy. His name was David Gage in New York. Drove up to New York, took this bass to David Gage, the world-renowned David Gage. He put this instrument back together for me. I bought a pickup from him as well. Got the Gage pickup on there. And this has been one of the best playing acoustic instruments I have heard in ever. This is my baby, one of my first instruments, and I pray that it will be my last upright that I need as well. But it has been on many albums, many television shows. Yeah, man, I love upright. So I encourage all bass players out there to get on upright, study fingerings, intonation. I'm still taking lessons. It helps my chops. It helps my linear playing on the neck, even when I get to electric. But it's just great, man. And get yourself an upright. And yeah, this is my baby. This is one of the many BBE instruments that you will always see me or hear me with, for sure. All right. Can I have it like that? You got it like that. Blackstone edition.